You just spent $1,000 on the latest iPhone. You open the box, heart racing, and then you see it. No charger, no headphones, just a lonely cable and Apple's silent judgment. They don't even bother explaining. It's just expected. Apple says it's for the environment. But let's be real. They're just saving money while making you spend more. Need a fast charger? That'll cost you another $30. Want AirPods? Add another $150. Want the whole package? Sure, it'll cost you a small fortune. And yet, millions of people still line up to buy it, year after year, convinced that this time, it's different. That this time, it's worth it. You turn it on. Same icons, same layout, same design. Sure, the screen is a little sharper, and maybe the camera is a bit better, but overall, it's the same iPhone you've been using for the past few years. Apple calls it innovation, but let's be honest, it's just repackaging the same thing over and over. And somehow, we still fall for it, believing the hype, convincing ourselves that this upgrade was worth it, that this phone will change everything. But deep down, we know it won't. Now let's talk about storage. You start using it, and everything seems smooth. But then, the reality hits. You download a few apps, take a few pictures, and suddenly, your storage is full. You bought the 128 gigabytes model because the 256 gigabytes one was just too expensive. And guess what? No SD card slot. You can't just pop in a memory card like you can on Android. Nope. Your only choices are to either delete stuff or pay for iCloud every single month. Because you know, that's Apple's way of making even more money off of you. You're basically paying rent for your own data. And what happens if you want to transfer your files? You can't just plug your phone into a computer and transfer files like you can on Android. iTunes, iCloud, those are your options. If you want something off your phone, you're stuck with Apple's clunky systems. Meanwhile, Android users are transferring files with ease. No wires, no weird hoops to jump through, just pure convenience. Speaking of convenience, let's talk about battery life. At first, the battery is amazing. You get through the whole day easily, no problem. But as time goes on, iOS updates start draining your battery faster and faster. Your battery's health drops. After a year, you're already carrying a charger everywhere you go. But replacing the battery? Not so fast. Apple locks everything down. You can't just swap out the battery yourself. Apple wants you to pay them a ridiculous amount of money to replace it. And don't even think about trying to fix anything yourself. Apple punishes you for that too. They won't let you use third-party repairs without disabling features like Face ID. And don't even get me started on repairs. Cracked your screen? That'll cost you $300. No problem. Water damage? You might as well just buy a brand new phone. Need to fix something yourself? Forget it. Apple has made it incredibly difficult for anyone other than Apple to repair your phone. They've even fought against right-to-repair laws, meaning if something goes wrong, you're stuck going through them and paying ridiculous fees. Meanwhile, Android brands like Samsung, Google, and others are opening up their repair programs. They make it easier to get your phone fixed without being charged an arm and a leg. Apple, on the other hand, has decided that you should never be able to repair your phone unless you go through them. Why? Because it's a profit game and you're paying for it. Now, let's talk about the Apple ecosystem. Apple wants to keep you locked in. Everything works best with other Apple products, which means once you buy one thing, you're practically forced to buy everything else. Want to use iMessage? Great, but you can't message someone with an Android phone without seeing those ugly green bubbles. AirDrop? Sure, but that's useless if the person you want to share with doesn't have an iPhone. An Apple Watch? Not happening for Android users. It's not just a phone, it's a trap. Once you're in, you're stuck. Want to use something that doesn't come from Apple? Too bad. Want to switch to another brand? It's going to be a painful process. You'll find yourself struggling to transfer your photos, contacts, and everything else. And trust me, it's not going to be easy. It's designed that way on purpose. Apple doesn't want you to leave. They want you to keep paying for their products and services, month after month. Then, we have the innovation, or lack thereof. Apple loves to hype up every new iPhone as if it's groundbreaking. But here's the truth. Every year, The same phone gets recycled with some minor changes. A slightly better camera, a small software tweak, maybe a new color. Big deal. They call it innovation, but it's not. It's just a way to get you to buy the same phone over and over again. Let's take a look at some of the revolutionary features Apple introduced in the past few years. 2020, we added 5G. Guess what? Android phones had 5G in 2019. 2021, we made the notch smaller. Wow, so revolutionary. 2022, introducing always-on display. Oh wait, Android had this years ago. 2023, USB-C is finally here. Oh, hold on, that wasn't Apple's choice. The European Union forced them to do it. Meanwhile, Android manufacturers have been pushing the envelope for years. Samsung has foldable phones. Google has AI-powered call screening. Xiaomi is testing 120W fast charging. Meanwhile, Apple is still stuck offering the same basic features year after year and charging you premium prices for it. And don't get me started on the price. The iPhone Pro models are ridiculously expensive. They cost as much as a MacBook. And for what? A camera, a screen, and a battery. Android offers a much wider variety of phones at different price points. Whether you want a budget phone or a high-end device, you've got choices. With Apple, you're locked into their overpriced ecosystem. And the worst part? The value is just not there. Sure, the iPhone is beautifully crafted, but at the end of the day, you're paying for the brand, not the tech. Now, let's circle back to how Apple keeps forcing you to pay for things. The iPhone isn't just about the phone. It's about paying for every single little service Apple offers. iCloud storage? Yep, you're paying for that. Apple Music? That's another monthly subscription. Need to replace a cable? That'll be another $20. Apple wants you to buy everything from them, and they'll charge you an arm and a leg for it. Apple isn't about giving you the best tech experience. They're about locking you into their ecosystem and profiting off your loyalty. They want you to think that the iPhone is the best, but honestly, it's not. There are better options out there. Android offers you more flexibility, better value, and more choices. So before you buy an iPhone, think twice. Do you really need to pay this much for a phone that doesn't innovate, restricts your freedom, and keeps you stuck in an overpriced ecosystem? The truth is, Apple is more about the brand than the tech. It's all a game of keeping you locked in, while your options are limited. There are better options out there. And when you switch to Android, you might just end up loving it more than you ever expected. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. See you next time. Have a nice day, and goodbye.